Alderman Fonseca.
Here.
Alderman Sosmarski. Alderwoman Ames.
Here.
Alderman Artie Woods. Alderman Catalano.
Here.
Approval of minutes of meeting, October 9th, 2025, Public Work Committee minutes.
Make motion.
I'll second.
Questions?
Any questions?
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Report and recommendation. One report, replacement of public work vehicles, numbers 235 and 298, in the amount not to exceed $400,000.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Thank you, Chairman. These are two public works vehicles. The Ford Explorer is the last vehicle that was budgeted for in fiscal year 2026. And then the Peterbilt, the 235, is a plow truck. It's budgeted for under next year's capital equipment replacement fund. However, since there's such a long lead time on these trucks, we're putting the order in now, and we expect to receive it sometime next winter.
Question, Alderwoman Fonseca.
Sorry. I have a question regarding the 400,000. Is that in addition to the existing budget that you already have with the original 225 and 34, or does that replace that estimate of the 225 and 34?
So that's the not to exceed amount for the purchase of these two vehicles that was budgeted within the capital equipment replacement fund for fiscal years 2025 and 2026 and 2027. So that's replacing those numbers. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Alderman Carrelli.
Does the price include the paint and the outfitting of the vehicles?
Correct. Yeah, that's the chassis and the build out for the vehicles. Yeah.
Alderman Woods.
Thank you. A couple of questions. When I was reading through the purchase order, so when the chassis gets here, we have to pay for that. So is that anticipated in fiscal 26 or?
Yes, that may come in fiscal year 2026. In June, they said they would be available around October, November. So I'm imagining they come early next year at this point.
And so one of my questions would be, is this like super important to purchase? I'm only asking because as we talk about shortfalls and stuff and tightening the purse string, so to speak, this would be one of those things that would be, let's say, low-hanging fruit if there isn't an emergency to purchase it, being it's such a large purchase and that we just push it off 1 year.
So the plow trucks, they do take a pretty heavy beating, and they do have very costly repairs. So I guess, the council needs to weigh how much, it's willing to spend in repairs versus, the vehicle replacement, I guess. So I guess that would be for the council to decide whether it's, worth pushing off or not.
Well, that's what I'm trying to get out of you. So what are those repairs for a year?
I could get some more information.
Just as a general guess.
It depends on what the issue is. I mean, hydraulic systems, if it has to go into the factory, those can get pretty costly, and then you're down a truck for an extended period of time. Then you have operational considerations to take into place. We don't really have too much redundancy with our larger plow vehicles. We have just enough for the amount of routes that we have. So if a vehicle goes down, we have to have guys pick up additional routes between the other vehicles.
So are the hydraulics the truck, or the hydraulics are mainly the accessories for the truck, like the plow and the salters and?
Mainly the accessories, yeah.
Yeah.
Alderwoman Fonseca.
So with the continuous changes that are going on, especially with interest rates, tariffs, things like that, is there any possibility that the cost could go down in the near future?
IEPA is instituting new emissions restrictions in year 2027, which is another reason we are trying to purchase this vehicle ahead of that, and we've heard that costs could go up, as much as 15% due to those new regulations.
Alderman Tony Catalano.
Yeah, so the old vehicles are going to go in auction?
Correct. Yeah, and that's, we talk about the right time to get out of a vehicle. Ideally, you get out of a vehicle before you start to incur some of those higher maintenance costs, and while it still has enough resale value to offset some of the costs of the purchase of a new vehicle. We've seen some high returns on used vehicle, which helps to offset that budget. So, yeah, that's...
Is there an amount that we put on those old vehicles, or it just goes by the market rate, or?
So they're bid at auction. We start them usually at $5,000, and then we've seen them, for a vehicle like the International, which we'll be auctioning off, they go anywhere between $10,000 and $20,000 on the market.
Thank you.
Alderwoman Fonseca.
So what is the acceptable efficiency rating?
So we prioritize anything below 60%.
Any more?
No.
Alderman Woods?
No.
How old is the truck? What year is it?
2017.
Wow.
Any more questions? Roll call?
Alderman Artwoods,
No.
Alderman Currielli,
Yes.
Alderman Carr,
Yes.
Alderwoman Fonseca,
Yes.
Alderwoman Ames,
Yes.
Alderman Catalano.
Yes.
And that passes. Items to be considered at future meetings. I got 3, permanent easement, Mary Jane Drainage Project, November. Irving and Central Traffic Light, November, December. Ward 1 Drainage Improvement, November and December. And that's it. That's the end of my report. Oh, unless anybody else has anything to add? All right, that's the end of my report.
Make a motion.
Oh, need a motion to adjourn.
Make motion to adjourn.
Second?
Sorry.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Or adjourn.
I'd like to call the Public Health, Safety, and Judiciary Ethics Committee to order. Would the minute taker reflect the same members are present? Next, I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from July 10th, 2025. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any questions, corrections, changes? There being none, all in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Opposed? That passes. Next. Report and recommendation, approval of the replacement of every car in the police department. No. A lot of police cars. Chief.
Yep, we're seeking approval for a total of 6 cars in the fleet. The last time we purchased vehicles was back in 2022. We are budgeted out in the capital equipment replacement fund each year, and we've been fortunate that we were able to extend the life of vehicles in our fleet that we did not need to purchase any in 23 or 24.
Any questions? Alderwoman Ames.
Yeah, so for some of the squad cars, it looks like they're just about 5 years old, which doesn't seem like a long time. So can you explain, is it just the mileage of the vehicle, or why is it such a short period of time?
Chief.
Yeah, so page 2 of the packet has a scoring sheet, and the garage, Public Works Garage, scores each of these vehicles. As they get under a replacement score of 60%, we start to look to replace them. So it's a combination of the miles, the mechanical condition, how much work the garage has put into the vehicles, and how much work they're expecting that they'll need to put into those vehicles to keep them acceptable.
Follow-up?
Follow. Go ahead.
So the cost of the replacement of these, does that include just outfitting the entire car? So it's the purchase of the car and making it ready to hit the road, or is there an additional cost for that?
Chief?
Yeah, there will be an additional cost. In the past, we strictly got the vehicles and everything was outfitted. Now Ford is giving the option to outfit some of the vehicles with the interior lights and sirens and stuff like that. And it seems that we can keep the cost down by getting it directly from Ford. So when we do send it out to get upfitted, we're not incurring as much of a cost. That additional cost is removing the cages from the existing fleet, moving them over into the new vehicle so we don't have to purchase new cages, moving all the computer equipment out and over, any light bars, any sirens, stuff of that nature. And then we always have to stripe the vehicles that are being striped.
Go ahead.
One last thing. And then the old vehicles that these are replacing, then those go to auction?
So they may go to auction. What would probably happen is we will push them elsewhere in the fleet, either into detectives or property maintenance, or if there's any other departments in the city that these vehicles are in better condition than some of the existing ones. But yes, the city will be sending some vehicles to auction with this replacement.
Okay, thank you.
Alderman Currielli, you still have a question? She stole your thunder.
Cheap question, no. The 3 F-150s, they're not all optioned the same. Is that just because what was available, or is there a particular reason for that?
Chief?
That's specific. One of them, we're looking to replace the unmarked traffic unit, which is this, you may have seen, it's the silver vehicle. It's 409. That historically has been used as the truck enforcement vehicle. So that one needs a little bit more lighting and options than the other 2 admin vehicles will.
Okay, thank you.
I can't let you go without a few questions more. So just, inquiring minds want to know. So I look at the grading sheet and look at original cost of vehicle of $27,000. And when we're purchasing cars now, they're $62,000, $63,000. Is that because they've just gone up in that much? They've doubled in price in 8 years, more than doubled in price in 8 years? Or are we using a different number for that original cost number? I don't know if that's a chief question or an Alan question.
No, I can probably take it.
Okay.
So I think that's probably vehicle 400.
Yeah.
I will in the future put the model year on that. That's probably the 2016 vehicle. So we're 9 years, and going back 9 years ago, yeah, you could get a brand new car for under $30,000. So it's just inflation. But we are using the Suburban Purchasing Cooperative to get the best price we can for these vehicles.
Yeah, I wasn't worried. I know that we always get the best price. My concern was looking at the number and determining, because we're making all the decisions based on this sheet, and everything's driven by that number, because it's all percentages as a factor of that number. So I just wanted to make sure that it was the right math.
Yeah, yeah,
Say.
that's accurate.
Okay, that was it. Alderman Fonseca.
So I have a question regarding the months in service. So I see that there's been a couple of those vehicles that were in service for over 100 months, and then the others were in the 60s range. Is there any particular reason why those two outlasted the others?
Chief?
Yes, so vehicle 400-174 and vehicle 409 and 424. So 400 and 424 are administrative vehicles, so they're driven daily, but they're not these squad cars out on the street running 3 shifts at a time. So we're able to put more miles on those, get more use out of those vehicles. We were scheduled to replace those in prior years, but we felt they were still in good condition. The percent scores were relatively good, so we felt we can get more use out of those. 409 was the traffic vehicle, that's the unmarked one. That again, we probably we were scheduled to replace it in the last 2 years, but because we don't have a truck enforcement program right now due to manpower, it's not being driven as much, so we felt we can get a little more use out of that vehicle.
Go ahead.
Does that explain the number of repair orders too, that they're lower just because they're administrative vehicles?
Correct.
Versus the other ones? Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? While we're on the, I'll follow up with one more question on those. So looking at the 406, 63 months in service, and almost $19,000 in repairs, at a cost of, at original cost is, we'll call it $35,000, right? So it's better than 50%. What are those repairs? I mean, was there an accident and that's part of repair costs? Or is that just general oil changes, or you burn through brakes and rotors every 3 months? What's driving those costs?
I don't have the specifics on that one in front of me, but I would venture to guess that that was probably a transmission or engine that was no longer under warranty, and it was better for us to replace it and get more years out of the vehicle than to trade it in and get a new one.
So if it was one of those, then wouldn't we want to keep it longer since we made that investment?
Yeah, I don't have the year on that, but we're already up to 95,000 miles on that one, and we're at a replacement score of 38%. So the garage is telling us it's time to replace it.
Okay. So, Mayor, please.
Yeah, so years ago, I remember, I think we used to replace cars like every 3 to 4 years, and we kind of pushed it back to 5, and looks like we're trying to use some of these cars elsewhere and whatnot. Again, if we can always stretch it to 6, but, you know, look at the numbers here sometimes, and I understand, I've heard all the arguments. The squad cars are 24 hours a day, all day long, they're running. So the mileage doesn't necessarily meet the amount of usage. Okay.
Yeah, just a follow-up to that. So part of the question isn't, do we need the vehicle? Part of it's the sheet, and if these cars cost us, you know, if we're blowing motors and transmissions, that's a problem. So maybe we need a different vehicle. I'm looking at this from different angles, like you're ordering F-150s now, maybe a few more of those are the thing. I don't know, and I'm not making a suggestion, just observations based on this going, that's a lot of maintenance on a vehicle. So, okay, thanks. So, Alderman Catalano?
So Chief, will all these vehicles, will they be all updated with the latest technology?
Correct. And just to answer Alderman Woods, Vehicle 406 does seem to be an outlier with that repair cost, and if the council wants more details on what those were, I can get them.
I'll reach out. I don't know if
Okay.
anybody else cares, but I just look at it and go,
Yeah.
you know, what's the driver? And is that a consistent thing, or is that just a one-off thing? So, that was all. So, I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of the
Second.
not to exceed whatever, did we have a number? Not to exceed $332,540. We have a motion, we have a second. Roll call?
Alderman Earl Woods,
Yes.
Alderman Currielli,
Yes.
Alderman Carr,
Yes.
Alderwoman Fonseca. Yes. Alderwoman Ames,
Yes.
Alderman Catalano.
Yes.
That passes. Next, items to be considered at future meetings, laptops for squad cars, fall and winter. Is that the built-in laptops? Is that go ahead, Chief.
They are removable laptops. We're looking at GTAC. IT Director Stenson has procured one, and he actually installed it in Squad 405 today. So we're going to test that out over the next couple of months, just to make sure that it works for what we need, and that before we update the entire fleet.
Okay, excellent, thank you. Any other questions, or anybody want to add anything to the Alderwoman names?
Yes, it's not for this particular committee, but I'd like to have added probably to the Finance and Administration Committee, looking at maybe starting our meeting times earlier. I know they start at 7:30 now, but looking in the future to maybe start them at either 7 o'clock or 6:30 for the council and committee meetings.
Second.
That's something we could look into.
Sure, we can add that. Although I
Thank you.
can't add it, because that's not my committee.
Right. Just want to put it
But-
out there for the appropriate committee to be.
Yeah.
Do the finance committee at 6:30?
I think we all just voted.
No.
Okay, next I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Yeah, I got two other items I want to bring to the board. A referendum coming up the following year for chickens. I think we'll have a better turnout if we send a referendum out and get everybody's opinion, a vote on it from the actual city.
Good.
I just think we'll get more feedback and it'll make everybody a little bit easier knowing what our voters want. And then the second thing is utilizing new revenue for future money that we get. I know I'm new and I see a lot of things that are coming aboard and we're trying to spend money that we don't have yet. You know, yes, there's money that's going to come into the city in the future, but we don't have it, and everybody's trying to figure out what they could do with it. I don't know if there's something we could do where we could wait till we get that money, see what we need it for, and then come up with ways to spend it in the future. Just an idea. I mean,
Manager Murmas, you want to polish that?
Yeah, I mean, we could probably polish it either in a workshop about looming, budgetary issues that might be out there, different revenue ideas, things like that. So either a finance and admin committee meeting as part of the budget process or a workshop as a primer to the budget process.
Right. I think it's a good idea. I mean, I wasn't picking on Ellen because I wanted to pick on him, but that's the thing. Maybe I did. All these decisions, and we are looking at revenue streams and not directly pulling from, but those keep getting pushed back too now. So it's probably a good idea from the new guy. Anything else?
that's all I got. Thank you.
So I'll be back to my motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned.